Shalom, shalom. Kohalaim La, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Bashim Kakadash. This Christian's favorite scripture right here. And the Most High is an author of confusion. So some unlearned people can easily misconstrue this, but this is John 3:16. It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life." And again, it can be easily confused. If someone is unlearned and the spirit isn't dealing with them. So this Isaiah 8:20 says, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." And a lot of people like to bring up, it says, "Whosoever will believe in him," and they think the whole world can be saved, but scripture isn't written that way. And since it can be easily confused, if you're unlearned, you don't have any understanding. Since it is like that, you got, I can't remember what the scripture is. I think it is. Since it is like that, and the Most High is on the author of confusion, you gotta, go. We got this verse right here. It says Isaiah 28:10. It says, "For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little." And that's not what a lot of so-called Christians do. So just from that, you go to John 3:16. It said precept upon precept, line upon line. And if you go a couple lines down on into John chapter 4, you'll see that, when Hamashiach Yahushua was talking to this female, this is John 4:22, says, Ye worship, ye know not. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And Jews come from the house of Israel. So salvation is for the Israelites. And again, people think, Christians tend to think that anybody can be saved or the whole world can be saved. But this is the Messiah talking right here. It says, "Ye worship, ye know not. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews." All right. And again, actually, let me get that. It says, this is 1 Corinthians 14:33. It says, "For Yahweh is not for Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." And the saints of it are Israelites. So a lot of times, as we got right here, it says precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So as we got in John 3:16, we see that we had to get some clarification in John 4 and verse 22. So we can't just read one scripture and be like, "Oh yeah, we got it." But as unlearned people do, that's why they get confused. All right, and let me see. And they're unlearned because they haven't been blessed with the eyes to see, ears to hear, as we got right here in Matthew 13:15. It says, "For this people's heart is waxed gross," heart meaning the mind, and it says their ears are dull of hearing, their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, their mind, and should be converted, I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Speaking about the prophecies and different things that come to pass throughout Scripture. So yeah, we're truly blessed to have this understanding. You know, unlike the rest of the world. So that's why we gotta cherish it. All right, because the spirit goes where it wants. So also have, and then again going back to John 3:16, it's basically says that whoever believes in the only begotten. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. It says for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And that world is not talking about the whole world. And people like to say it's the whole world. Nah. And again, the Most High is not an author of confusion. So you got to go precept upon precept. So I got 2 Ezra 7:20. It says, "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them." All right. And how do you despise the law? You despise the law. When people see videos that they see, the prophets out there on the highways and byways, they reject the word. All right. And you reject the word by just plainly ignoring it or, scoffing. So that's how they rejecting the law. Then it says, I have said before and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. So a lot of people are going to perish, man. It says, right here, it says, because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them. And another way they despise law is because let's go to the next verse. It says, let me see. Okay, so 2 Ezra 7:22 says, "Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things." Vain meaning worthless, man. They're into worthless things, stuff that leads to the path of destruction. So then it says, "And deceive themselves by their wicked deeds." They're more into darkness. It's actually a verse for that too. Just had it the other day. What is it? It's Romans 13:12. It says, no, this wasn't it. It was, I think it's Isaiah. And this is starting at verse 8, but I'm going to go down. It says, this is for the watchmen, but it's also, it's people also like this in the world. It says, his watchmen are blind. This is Isaiah 56:10. It says, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. People that are in the world, they love to slumber. And that's another way that they despise the law. They will rather sleep, be in gross darkness, than to actually seek the law or seek the light. They don't want the light. They reject the light, which is this truth, this knowledge. And you go back to, the verse I just had up, it was 2 Ezra 9:15. It says, there be many more that perish than of them that are saved, roughly paraphrasing. But those that are going to be saved is that small grape of the cluster, the elect. All right, so Lord willing, those that are found, call her Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Shalom.